I ain't drunk. I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come
time.
on now, you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Hey kids, how you doing? I got a quickie build overview for you today. This one of the things I do. You see a lot of the crazy builds come across the channel. You know, all the gallery builds and Patriot and all those things. And so I do all the builds for the Patriot Blades webpage for the sales. You know, the auctions and all that stuff. And one of the other things I do is I build quads for people, for friends, you know, and I love building quads for friends. I think I do a better job. Like, if you look at the birds I fly, they're just like, whatever. You wouldn't probably look twice at them, except maybe they're headhunters and they're a little weird. But I don't, you know, get all anal with how they look and whatever else. But once in a blue moon, I build one for a guy in the club or a friend, somebody that I've met. And my very good friend Wes, who is FPV fanatic, he's in the Patriot Blades Club. He's like, I want you to build me a bird. Here's what I want. He picked out all the guts. I had nothing to do with it. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I order all the stuff for him. And I built it Friday night, I think. Yeah, you know, hour and 10 minutes, something like that. And not a fantastically custom build, you know, like crazy weird shit, but just turned out absolutely gorgeous. So what I want to do is just do a quickie build overview for you guys that, you know, are looking into doing a build, want to do a little bit of customizing. Very seldomly do I build a frame or a quad normal. Usually I modify it, I slam it, meaning I bring the top down tighter or whatever else. So here it is. Bam! This is what we're calling, I always name my birds, the cool birds, I name them. And Wes and I decided, FPV Fanatic and I decided, we're going to call this one the Wraith, which, for those of you that don't know, is a pretty evil fucking ghost, right? Or something like that. And so he's like, here's what I want. I want the Hyperlight motors. I want the Mode 2 ghost frame. I want this, I want that, I want that. I'm like, okay, fine. So I order all the shit, bam, I build it, and here it is. This thing is fucking insane, right? I built the far view, obviously. I built the whole thing. I'm going to take one of the props off. I have not dialed this in on Betaflight for him yet. I dial it into a basic level, and then he dials it in the way he likes it. There's the Hyperlight motors. Look at these things. Bam! Fucking bad to the bone. Pyro Drone, that's where we get these from. Hyperlight. And these are the 2405, 2522 kV. Bam. You can't see that. Just absolutely gorgeous. Listen. I mean, fucking bad. Did my normal braid, not braiding, but twisting with that's a special heat shrink that I use that kind of holds it there. Brought the antenna tubes out the back. We use the Cicada all-in-one with this. So it's 30 amp ESC, BL Heli S, running D-Shot 600 with basically an Omnibus F4, full OSD, all that crap. And we got an XM Plus Tyrannus receiver in there. We've got the VTX03 in there, the JJ RotoGeek Oreo Cookie Mod far view antenna. If you want to know how to make those, look on my channel. I've done a couple of videos on those. And that's how we did the wiring. I would pop the top, and we used a Foxeer, what is that, micro arrow thing. I would pop the top, but there's really nothing to see. I mean, this is a sick little frame. I usually don't go for the really thin racing frames for myself. I build a lot of them for the web page and the auctions and things like that, but you know, I'm a freestyle guy. Look at what this thing weighs, though. You're gonna shit out your mouth when you see this thing. This thing's like bam, and I did all the little touches on there. 257 all up, minus the battery strap. Bam, that's what you've got. 257. This thing is gonna set the fucking sky on fire. This is insane. Weighs, it's like I told my buddy, I said, when I send this to you, you're gonna be like, there's nothing in the box. I mean, that's how light this fucking bird is. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't think it's necessarily the strongest frame. Okay, this is, like I said, this is the Mode 2, that's the company, ghost frame. Here's why I don't necessarily think that. I think it's a great frame. I think he picked great. I think it's a gorgeous build. What do I do with a fucking... I gotta... whatever. We'll just guess. So I think those are 4 mil, 3 mil, base plate, 2 mil top, 3 mil bottom, 4 mil arms. I'm pretty sure. We did Loctite on all the bolts, including these. These have basically 2 lock nuts there, and then they've got the screws going through the center. There's just not a lot of, there's no sandwiching. If you look at, say, this is the Mocha Griff, okay? Love this frame. Totally different frame, though. It's not really comparable. But if you look at this, you've got screws going through the top plate, sandwiching the arms to the bottom plate, and it's super thick. And it's a little thicker, actually, than this one is. These are 5 mil, these are 4. But when you have that sandwich effect, you have that inertial leverage, okay? Whereas this, you know, it's a little bit more fragile, but it's also a racing frame. So, yeah, you don't have to do that. I slammed the FC combo here, so it's very, very close to the bottom, just enough to get a battery strap through there. Bam, fucking perfect. He'll probably put some 3D Sherlock tape on the bottom like I always do, put a strap through it. I did slam the top. Now, if you look at this, you can see the prop line is pretty much in line with the top of the bird. I like narrow birds. I slam everything if I can. I've built hellbenders where I bring them way down. I did the same thing with this, but it wasn't too bad. It came with 25 millimeter standoffs, and I put in... all I did was swap standoffs, honestly, guys. Nothing fancy. A lot of times when I slam a top on a bird, I'll have to take a Dremel tool and router out the carbon fiber and do all this crazy shit. Not with this. I literally just took 20 mils. I took his standoffs that came with it, stuck them in a box, and I put 20 mils in its place, and that slammed it down. And the reason it made it easy is because it has these TPU camera mounts. So all you do is slide them onto different standoffs. You're good. Has a TPU standoff for the... tighten that up. Tighten that up, bro, when you get this. Now, I'll make sure it's tight. The drawback to this frame, in my opinion, unless you... if you look at the ergonomics of the layout of this frame, the Cicada... the USB port is right here. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Pink, right there. There is no way to get to it. So what he has to do is he has to take out this screw, and kick these arms forward, which I left him enough wire to do, and he'll be able to stick a USB in there and do everything he needs to do, and then bring the arms back, lock them in. But even, and at first I was thinking, oh, that's my fault because I slammed it. I made everything so tight. I brought the top down and I brought the board down. But that's not really the case, because even if you brought this board up, it would have to come up, what is that, 4 mil probably? You still couldn't get access with this type of a board through there, and you wouldn't be able to get your camera tilt. That's no good, you know? So I don't really know how you would do this. So what I ended up doing is actually building it backwards. This is technically the front of the frame. This is technically the back. But if I would have flipped it around the other way, the flight controller wouldn't even have fit. Does that make sense? Now, if it would have fit, I would have had better camera tilt, but it just doesn't. So the Alpha, which is by Lumineer, or the Cicada, which are pretty much your two main choices. I mean, there's others, obviously. But, yeah, it's a tight frame for that. But it's worth it, because, I mean, how often are you really getting into Betaflight? And plus, you can adjust all your PIDs and all that shit through your OSD. So, anyway, I put, these props are just mine. He's going to put his own props on there. I just put those on there for looks. Just so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, the Hyperlight motors seem absolutely awesome. With the far view, this thing's just going to be fucking dog on fire, man. It's going to be awesome. So anyway, we call this the Wraith, but this is the Mode 2 ghost frame with the Hyperlights, fox ear, beautiful bird. I mean, the thing just floats and don't even have power on it. Bam, look at that. So anyway, just a quick overview. Keep shining side up, kids. Bam. Talk soon. Bye.
Bam, JJ! Bam, JJ. Hope you like fishing.